Hello all and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus, the third Cepher of Moshe. Chapter 1. And Yahuwah called unto Moshe and spoke unto him out of the tabernacle of the assembly, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, If any man, that would be Odie, the little tan dog you saw. And say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto Yahuwah, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of all of Tavet the herd, and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will, at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, before Yahuwah. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. And he shall kill all of Tavet the bullock before Yahuwah, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood and sprinkle all of Tavet the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And he shall flay all of Tavet, the burnt offering, and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priest, Aaron's son, shall lay all of Tavet the parts, all of Tavet the head, and all of Tavet the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water, and the priest shall burn all of Tavet, all that is on the altar, to be burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto Yahuwah. And if his offering be of flocks, namely of sheep, or of the goats, for a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish, and he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward, before Yahuwah and the priest. Aaron's son shall sprinkle all of Tavet's blood round about the altar, and he shall cut it into his pieces, with all of Tavet his head, and all of Tavet his fat. And the priest shall lay them in order on on the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all, and burn it all of Tavet upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto Yahuwah. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to Yahuwah be of fowls, then he shall bring all of Tavet his offerings of turtle doves, or of young pigeons, and the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off all of Tavet his head, and burn it on the altar. And the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar, and he shall pluck away all of Tavet his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part, by the place of the ashes, and he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto Yahuwah. Chapter 2. And when any will offer a meat offering unto Yahuwah, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon, and he shall bring it to Aaron's sons the priest. And he shall take thereof his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof, and the priest shall burn all of Tavet, the memorial of it, upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto Yahuwah. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. And if you bring an oblation of a meat offering, bacon in the oven, it shall be mastasa cakes, of fine flour mingled with oil, or mastasa wafers anointed with oil. And if your oblation be a meat offering, bacon in a pan, it shall be of fine flour unleavened, mingled with oil. You shall part it in pieces, and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. And if your oblation be a meat offering, bacon in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil, and you shall bring all of Tavet the meat offering that is made of these things unto Yahuwah. And when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it unto the altar, and the priest shall take from the meat offering all the tevet, a memorial thereof, and shall burn it upon the altar. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savour unto Yahuwah. And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. No meat offering which ye shall bring unto Yahuwah shall be made with leaven. For ye shall burn no leaven, nor any honey, in any offering of Yahuwah made by fire. As for the oblation of the first fruits, ye shall offer them unto Yahuwah, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savour. And every oblation of your meat offering shall you season with salt, neither shall you suffer the salt of the covenant of your Elohim to be lacking from your meat offering. With all your offerings you shall offer salt. And if you offer a meat offering of your first fruits unto Yahuwah, you shall offer for the meat offering of your first fruits green ears of grain dried by the fire, all the tavet, even grain beaten out of full ears. And you shall put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon. It is a meat offering. Excuse me. And the priest shall burn all the tavet, the memorial of it, part of the beaten grain thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. Well, that's it for today's read. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 3 and 4, chapter 3. And his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering. If he offered it of the herd, whether it be of male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before Yahuwah. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And Aaron's sons the priests shall sprinkle all of Tavet, the blood, upon the altar round about. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, all the tavet, the fat that covers all the tavet, the inwards, and all the tavet, all the fat that is upon the inwards. Well, this one actually has all the tavet means all, or first to the last, or from the beginning to the end, or all that is spoken or written. So all the fat that is upon the inwards, in all of tavet, the two kidneys, and all of tavet, the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and all of tavet, the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And Aaron's son shall burn it on the altar upon the burnt sacrifice, which is upon the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto Yahuwah. And if his offering for a sacrifice, a peace offering unto Yahuwah, be of the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If he offer a lamb for all of Tavet his offering, then he shall offer before Yahuwah, and he shall lay all of Tavet his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the tabernacle of the assembly. And Aaron's son shall sprinkle all Tavet, the blood thereof, round about upon the altar. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, the fat thereof, and the whole rump. It shall he take off hard by a backbone. And all the tavet, the fat that covers all the tavet, the inwards, and all the tavet, all the fat that is upon the inwards, and all the tavet, the two kidneys, and all the tavet, the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and all the tavet, the caul above the liver, with the kidneys. It shall he take away, and the priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is a food offering of the offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And if his offering be a goat, then he shall offer it before Yahuwah. And he shall lay all the tavet his hand upon the head of it, and kill it before the tabernacle of the assembly. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle all the tavet, the blood thereof, upon the altar round about. and he shall offer thereof his offering, even an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, all the tavet the fat that covers, all the tavet the inwards, and all the tavet the fat that is upon the inwards, and all the tavet the 2 kidneys, and all the tavet the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and all the tavet the caul above the liver with the kidneys. It shall he take away, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savor. All of the fat is Yahuwah's. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall... This is chapter 4. Chapter 4. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahuwah concerning things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin which he has sinned a young bullock without blemish unto Yahuwah for a sin offering, and he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly before Yahuwah, and shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head, and kill the bullock before Yahuwah. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the bullock's blood, and sprinkle it to the tabernacle of the assembly. The priest shall dip his finger in the blood, sprinkle the blood 7 times before Yahuwah, before the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahuwah, which is in the tabernacle of the assembly, and shall pour the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And he shall take off from it the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, and the fat that covers the inward parts, and the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys. It shall he take away. As it was taken off from the bullock of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, the priest shall burn them upon the altar of the burnt offering, and the skin of the bullock, and all his flesh, with his head, with his legs, and his inwards, and his dung, even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place where the ashes are poured out, and burn him on the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out shall he be burnt. And if the whole assembly of Israel sin through ignorance, and a thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of Yahuwah concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty, when the sin which they have sinned against it is known, and the assembly shall offer a bullock for the sin, and shall bring him before the tabernacle of the assembly. And the elders of the assembly shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before Yahuwah. And the bullock shall be killed before Yahuwah, and the priest that is anointed shall bring the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the assembly. And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before Yahuwah, even before the veil. And he shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar which is before Yahuwah, that is in the tabernacle of the assembly, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And he shall take all his fat from him, and burn it upon the altar. And he shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering. So shall he do with this, and the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. And he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp, and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the assembly. When a ruler has sinned and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahuwah Elohayu, concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty, or If his sin wherein he has sinned come to his knowledge, he shall bring out of it his offering, a kid of the goats, a male without blemish. He shall lay his hand upon the head of the goat and kill it in the place where they kill all of it, the burnt offering before Yahuwah. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it upon the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and shall pour out all of it his blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, and he shall burn all of it, all his fat, upon the altar, as a fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. If any one of the common people sin through ignorance, why he does somewhat against any of the commandments of Yahuwah concerning things which ought not to be done, and be guilty, or if his sin which he has sinned come to his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin offering which he has sinned. And he shall lay all of it his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay all of it the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and shall pour out all of it, all the blood thereof, at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all of it, all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of the peace offerings, and the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour unto Yahuwah. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female, without blemish, and he shall lay out of it his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they kill out of it the burnt offering. And the priest shall take the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all of it, all the blood thereof, at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all of it, the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar according to the offerings made by fire unto Yahuwah. And the priest shall make an atonement for a sin that he has committed, and it shall be forgiven him. Well, until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Oh, wanted to say one more thing. I was sorry to hear about the shooting in Florida. Yeah, what a terrible thing. Well, that was it, and yeah. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, Leviticus chapters 5 and 6. Chapter 5, and if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and it is a witness, whether he has seen or known of it, if he did not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of an unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty. Or if he touches the uncleanliness of a man, whatsoever uncleanliness it be, that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hidden from him, when he knows of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil, or to do good, whatsoever it be, that a man shall pronounce with an oath, and it be hidden from him, when he knows of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty in one of these things, that he shall confess that he has sinned in that thing, and he shall bring all of it his transgressions offering unto Yahuwah for his sin which he has sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb, or a kid of the goats, for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sin. And if he not be able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring for all of it his trespass which he has committed 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons unto Yahuwah, one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And he shall bring them unto the priest, who shall offer all Tevet that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off all of Tevet's head from his neck, but shall not divide it asunder. And he shall sprinkle of the blood of the sin offering upon the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall he wring out at the bottom of the altar. It is a sin offering. And he shall offer olive tavet the second for a burnt offering, according to the manner, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, and for a sin which he has sinned, and it shall be forgiven him. But if he be not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he that sinned shall bring olive tavet for his offering, the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall put no oil upon it, neither shall he put any frankincense thereon, for it is a sin offering. Then shall he bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it, olive tavet, even a memorial thereof, and burn it on the altar. According to the offerings made by fire unto Yahuwah, it is a sin offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, as touching his sin, that he has sinned in one of these, and it shall be forgiven him, and the remnant shall be the priest as a meat offering. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, If a soul commit a trespass and sin through ignorance, and the holy things of Yahuwah, then he shall bring olive tavet for his trespass unto Yahuwah, a ram without blemish out of the flocks, with your estimation by shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for a trespass offering. And he shall make olive tavet amends for the harm that he has done in the holy thing, and shall add olive tavet the 5th part thereto, and give it unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and it shall be forgiven him. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of Yahuwah, though he knew it not, yet he is guilty, and shall bear his iniquity. And he shall bring a ram without blemish out of the flock, with your estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his ignorance wherein he erred, and knew it not, and it shall be forgiven him. It is a trespass offering, he has certainly trespassed against Yahuwah. Chapter 6. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, If a soul sin and commit a trespass against Yahuwah, and lie unto his neighbor, and that which was delivered him to keep, or in his fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or has deceived olive tavet his neighbor, or have found that which was lost, and lies concerning it, and swears falsely in any of these that a man does, sinning therein, then it shall be, because he has sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore olive tavet, that which he took violently away, or olive tavet the thing which he has deceitfully gotten, or olive tavet that which was delivered him to keep, or olive tavet the thing which he found, or all that about which he has sworn falsely. He shall even restore it in the principal, and shall add a 5th part more thereto, and give it unto him to whom it appertains, in a day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring olive tavet his trespass offering unto Yahuwah, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with your estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahuwah, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he has done in trespassing therein. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Command olive tavet Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the Torah of the burnt offering. It is the burnt offering because of the burning upon the altar all night unto the morning. And the fire of the altar shall be burning in it, and the priest shall put on his linen garments and his linen breeches, and shall he put upon his flesh, and take up olive tavet the ashes which the fire has consumed, olive tavet which with the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. And he shall put off olive tavet his garments, and put on other garments, and carry forth olive tavet the ashes without the camp unto a clean place. And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it. it shall not be put out, and the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burnt offering in order upon it. And he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings. The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar, it shall never go out. And this is the Torah of the meat offering. The son of Aaron shall offer it before Yahuwah before the altar. And he shall take of it his handful of the flour of the meat offering, and of the oil thereof, and olive tavet, all the frankincense, which is upon the meat offering, and shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour, even the memorial of it, unto Yahuwah. And the remainder thereof shall Aaron and his sons eat. With mustasas shall it be eaten in the holy place. In the court of the tabernacle of the assembly they shall eat it. It shall not be baked with the leaven. It shall not be baked with leaven. I have given it unto them for their portion of my offerings made by fire. It is most holy, and it is the sin offering, and as the trespass offering. All the males among the children of Aaron shall eat of it. It shall be a statute forever in your generations concerning the offering of Yahuwah made by fire. Everyone that touches them shall be holy. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, This is the offering of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer unto Yahuwah, and the day when he is anointed, the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a meat offering perpetual, half of it in the morning, and half thereof at night. In a pan it shall be made with oil, and when it is baken, you shall bring it in, and the baken pieces of the meat offering shall you offer for a sweet savour unto Yahuwah, and the priest of his sons, that is anointed in his stead, shall offer it. It is a statute forever unto Yahuwah. It shall be wholly burnt. For every meat offering for the priest shall be wholly burnt. It shall not be eaten. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the Torah of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before Yahuwah. It is most holy. The priest that offers it for a sin offering shall eat it. In the holy place shall it be eaten. In the court of the tabernacle of the assembly, whatsoever shall touch the flesh thereof shall be holy. And wherein there is sprinkled of the blood thereof upon any garment, you shall wash that whereon it was sprinkled in the holy place. But the earthen vessels wherein it is sodden shall be broken. And if it be sodden in a brazen pot, it shall be both scoured and rinsed in water. All the males among the priests shall eat thereof. It is most holy. And no sin offering whereof any of the blood is brought into the tabernacle of the assembly, to reconcile withal in the holy place, shall be eaten. It shall be burnt in the fire. Well, that is today's read. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 7. Chapter 7. Likewise, this is a Torah of the trespass offering. It is most holy. In a place where they kill olive tavet the burnt offering, shall they kill olive tavet the trespass offering, and olive tavet the blood thereof shall be sprinkled round about upon the altar. And he shall offer it, olive tavet, all the fat thereof. Olive tavet the rump, and olive tavet the fat that covers, olive tavet the inwards, and olive tavet the 2 kidneys, and olive tavet the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and olive tavet the caul that is above the liver, and the kidney, with the kidneys. It shall he take away. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar for an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. It is a trespass offering. Every male among the priests shall eat thereof. It shall be eaten in the holy place. It is most holy, as a sin offering is. So is the trespass offering. There is one Torah for them. The priests that make atonement therewith shall have it. And the priest that offers olive tavet any man's burnt offering, even the priest shall have to himself the skin of the burnt offering which he has offered. and all the meat covering that is baken in the oven, and all that is dressed in the frying pan and in the pan, shall be the priest that offers it. And every meat offering, mingled with oil and dry, shall all the sons of Aaron have as much as another. And this is the Torah of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, which he shall offer unto Yahuwah. If he offer it for a thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving mustasa cakes mingled with oil, and mustasa wafers anointed with oil, and cakes mingled with oil, and fine flour fried. Besides the cakes, he shall offer for his offering chametz with the sacrifice of thanksgiving of his peace offerings. And of it he shall offer one out of the whole oblation for a heave offering unto Yahuwah. And it shall be the priest that sprinkles olive tavet, the blood of the peace offerings, and the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving shall be eaten the same day that it is offered. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. But if the sacrifice of his offering be a vow, or a voluntary offering, it shall be eaten the same day that he offers olive tavet his sacrifice, and on the morrow also the remainder of it shall be eaten. But the remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day shall be burnt with fire. If any of the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings be eaten at all on the third day, it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be imputed unto him that offers it. It shall be an abomination, and the soul that eats of it shall bear his iniquity. And the flesh that touches any unclean thing shall not be eaten, it shall be burnt with fire. And as for the flesh, as that be clean shall eat thereof. But the soul that eats of the flesh of the sacrifice of the peace offerings that pertain unto Yahuwah, having his uncleanness upon him, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, the soul that touch any unclean thing, as the uncleanliness of a man, or any unclean beast, or any abominable unclean thing, and eat of the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offerings which pertain unto Yahuwah, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Ye shall eat no manner of fat of ox, or of sheep, or of goat, and the fat of the beast that dies of itself, and the fat of that which is torn with beasts, may be used, and any other use, but ye shall not wise eat of it. For whosoever eat the fat of a beast, of which men offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, even a soul that eats it shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, ye shall not eat no manner of blood, whether it be of fowl or of beast, in any of your dwellings. Whatsoever it be that eat any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, He that offers olive tavet the sacrifices of his peace offerings unto Yahuwah shall bring olive tavet his oblation unto Yahuwah. Of the sacrifice of his peace offerings, his own hand shall bring olive tavet the offering of Yahuwah made by fire. Olive tavet the fat with the breast, it shall he bring. Olive tavet that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And the priest shall burn olive tavet the fat upon the altar, but the breast shall be Aaron and his sons. And olive tavet the right shoulder should ye give unto the priest for a heave offering of the sacrifices of your peace offerings. He among the sons of Aaron that offers olive tavet the blood of the peace offerings, and olive tavet the fat, shall have the right shoulder for his part. For olive tavet the wave breast, and olive tavet the heave shoulder, have I taken of the children of Israel from off the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and have given them unto Aaron the priest, and unto his sons by a statute forever amongst the children of Israel. This is the portion of the anointing of Aaron, and of the anointing of his sons, out of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire in the day, when he presented them to minister unto Yahuwah in the priest's office, which Yahuwah commanded to be given them, of the children of Israel in the day that he anointed them. by statute forever throughout their generations. This is the Torah of the burnt offering, of the meat offering, and of the sin offering, and of the trespass offering, and of the consecrations, and of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, which Yahuwah commanded all of Tevet Moshe and Mount Sinai. And the day that he commanded all of Tevet the children of Israel to offer their oblations unto Yahuwah in the wilderness of Sinai. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Take all of Tevet Aaron, and all of Tevet his sons with them, and all of Tevet the garments, and all of Tevet the anointing oil, and all of Tevet a bullock for the sin offering, and all of Tevet 2 rams, and all of Tevet a basket of mastasa, and gather all of Tevet the assembly together unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And Moshe did as Yahuwah commanded him. And the assembly was gathered together unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And Moshe said unto the assembly, This is a thing which Yahuwah commanded to be done. And Moshe brought all of Tevet Aaron and all of Tevet his sons, and washed them with water. And he put upon him all of Tevet the coat, and girded him with the girdle, and clothed him all of Tevet with the robe, and put all of Tevet the ephod upon him. And he girded him with the curious girdle of the ephod, and bound it unto him therewith. And he put the olive Tevet breastplate upon him. Also he put in the breastplate olive Tevet the Urim, and olive Tevet the Timim. And he put olive Tevet the turban upon his head. Also upon the turban, even unto his forefront, did he put olive Tevet the golden plate, the holy crown, as Yahuwah commanded olive Tevet Moshe. And Moshe took olive Tevet the anointing oil, and anointed olive Tevet the tabernacle, and olive Tevet all that was therein, and sanctified them. And he sprinkled thereof upon the altar 7 times, and anointed olive Tevet the altar, and olive Tevet all his vessels, both olive Tevet the laver, and olive Tevet his foot, to sanctify them. And he poured of the anointing oil upon Aaron's head, and anointed him to sanctify him. And Moshe brought olive Tevet Aaron's sons, and put coats upon them, and girded them with girdles, and put bonnets on them, as Yahuwah had commanded olive Tevet Moshe. And he brought olive Tevet the bullock for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid olive Tevet their hands upon the head of the bullock for a sin offering. And he slew it, and Moshe took olive Tevet the blood, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about with his finger, and purified olive Tevet the altar, and poured olive Tevet the blood at the bottom of the altar, and sanctified it, to make reconciliation upon it. And he took olive Tevet all the fat that was upon the inwards, and olive Tevet the caul that is above the liver, and olive Tevet the 2 kidneys, and olive Tevet their fat. And Moshe burned it upon the altar. But olive Tevet the bullock, and olive Tevet his hide, and olive Tevet his flesh, and olive Tevet his dung, he burnt with fire without the camp, as Yahuwah commanded olive Tevet Moshe. And he brought olive Tevet the ram for the burnt offering, and Aaron and his sons laid olive Tevet their hands upon the head of the ram, and killed it. And Moshe sprinkled olive Tevet the blood upon the altar round about, and he cut olive Tevet the ram into pieces. And Moshe burned olive Tevet the head, and olive Tevet the pieces, and olive Tevet the fat. And he washed olive Tevet the inwards, and olive Tevet the legs in water. And Moshe burnt olive Tevet the whole ram upon the altar. It was a burnt sacrifice for a sweet savour, and an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, as Yahuwah had commanded olive Tevet Moshe. And he brought olive Tevet the other ram, the ram of consecration, and Aaron and his sons laid olive Tevet their hands upon the head of the ram, and he slew it. And Moshe took of the blood of it, and put it upon the top of Aaron's right ear, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And he brought olive Tevet Aaron's sons, and Moshe out of the blood upon the tip of the right ear, and upon the thumb of the right hands, and upon their great toes of the right foot. And Moshe sprinkled olive Tevet the blood upon the altar round about, and he took olive Tevet the fat, and olive Tevet the rump, and olive Tevet all the fat that was upon the inwards, and olive Tevet the caul above the liver, and olive Tevet the 2 kidneys, and olive Tevet their fat, and olive Tevet the right shoulder. And out of the basket of mastasa there was before Yahuwah, he took 1 mastasa cake, and a cake of oil spread, and 1 wafer, and put them on the fat, and upon the right shoulder. And he put olive Tevet all upon Aaron's hands, and upon his sons' hands, and waved them for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And Moshe took them from off their hands, and burnt them on the altar upon the burnt offering. They were consecrations for a sweet savor. It is an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And Moshe took olive tavet, the breasts, and waved it for a wave offering before Yahuwah, for of the ram of consecration. It was Moshe's part, as Yahuwah commanded olive tavet Moshe. And Moshe took of the anointing oil and of the blood which was upon the altar, and sprinkled it upon olive tavet Aaron, and olive tavet his garments, and olive tavet upon his sons, and upon olive tavet his sons' garments with him, and sanctified Aaron and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. And Moshe said unto Aaron and to his sons, boil olive tavet the flesh at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and there eat it, olive tavet with the bread that is in the basket of the consecrations, as I commanded, saying, Aaron and his sons shall eat it, and that which remains of the flesh and of the bread shall ye burn with fire, and ye shall not go out of the door of the tabernacle of the assembly in 7 days, until the days of your consecration be at an end. For 7 days shall he olive tavet consecrate you, as he has done this day, so Yahuwah has commanded to do, to make an atonement for you. Therefore shall ye abide at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly day and night 7 days, and guard olive tavet the watch of Yahuwah, that ye die not, for so I am commanded. So Aaron and his sons did olive tavet the things which Yahuwah commanded by the hand of Moshe. Well, that is it for today's read. Until next time, may you all have a great night, and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 9 and 10. Chapter 9. And it came to pass on the 8th day that Moshe called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel, and he said unto Aaron, Take a young calf for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering, without blemish, and offer them before Yahuwah. And unto the children of Israel you shall speak, saying, Take ye a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both of the first year, without blemish, for a burnt offering. Also a bullock and a ram for peace offerings, to sacrifice before Yahuwah, and a meat offering mingled with oil. For today Yahuwah will appear unto you. And they brought all which Moshe commanded before the tabernacle of the assembly, and all the assembly drew near, and stood before Yahuwah. And Moshe said, This is the thing which Yahuwah commanded ye, that ye should do, and the glory of Yahuwah shall appear unto you. And Moshe said unto Aaron, Go unto the altar, and offer olive tavet, or all your sin offering, and all your burnt offering, and make an atonement for yourself and for the people, and offer all the offering of the people, and make an atonement for them as Yahuwah commanded. Aaron therefore went unto the altar, and slew olive tavet the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself. And the sons of Aaron brought all the blood unto him. And he dipped his finger in the blood, and put it on the horns of the altar, and poured out all the blood at the bottom of the altar. But all the fat, and all the kidneys, and all the caul above the liver for the sin offering he burnt upon the altar, as Yahuwah commanded. All Moshe, and all the flesh, and had commanded all of Moshe. And all the flesh and all the hide he burnt with fire without the camp, and he slew all the burnt offering. And Aaron's sons presented unto him all the blood, which he sprinkled round about upon the altar, and they presented all the burnt offering unto him, with the pieces thereof, and all the head. And he burnt them upon the altar. And he did wash all the inwards, and all the legs, and burnt them upon the burnt offering on the altar. And he brought all the people's offering, And he took all the goat, which was the sin offering for the people, and slew it, and offered it for sin, as the first. And he brought all the burnt offering, and offered it according to the manner. And he brought all the meat offering, and took a handful thereof, and burnt it upon the altar, beside the burnt sacrifice of the morning. And he slew also all the bullock, and all the ram, for a sacrifice of peace offerings, which was for the people. And Aaron's sons presented unto him all the blood, which he sprinkled upon the altar round about, and all the fat of the bullock and of the ram, the rump, and that which covers the inwards, and the kidney, and the caul over the liver. And they put all the fat upon the breast, and he burnt the fat upon the altar, and all the breast, and all the right shoulder Aaron waved for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And Moshe commanded, and Aaron lifted up, as Moshe commanded, and Aaron lifted up all his hand toward the people, and blessed them, and came down from offering of the sin offering, and the burnt offering, and the peace offerings. And Moshe and Aaron went into the tabernacle of the assembly, and came out, and blessed all the people. And the glory of Yahuwah appeared unto all the people. And there came a fire out from before Yahuwah, and consumed upon the altar all the burnt offering, and all the fat, which when all the people saw, they shouted, and fell on their face. Chapter 10. And Nadav and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer, and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before Yahuwah, which he commanded them not. And there went out fire from Yahuwah, and devoured them, and they died before Yahuwah. Then Moshe said unto Aaron, This is that which Yahuwah spoke, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. And Moshe called unto Mishael and Elitzaphan, the son of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, Come near, carry your Aleph Tavet brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp. So they went near, and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as Moshe had said. And Moshe said unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar, his sons, Uncover not your heads, neither rend your clothes, lest ye die, and lest wrath come upon all the people. But let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail all the burning which Yahuwah has kindled. And ye shall not go out from the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, lest ye die. For the anointing oil of Yahuwah is upon you. And they did according to the words of Moshe. And Yahuwah spoke unto Aaron, saying, Do not drink wine, nor strong drink, you nor your sons with you, when ye go into the tabernacle of the assembly, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, and that ye may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean, and that ye may teach all the children of Israel all the statutes which Yahuwah has spoken unto them by the hand of Moshe. And Moshe spoke unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar, his sons that were left, Take all the meat offering that remains of the offerings of Yahuwah by fire, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is most holy. And ye shall eat it in the holy place, because it is your due, and your sons' due, of the sacrifices of Yahuwah made by fire. For so I am commanded, and all the waved breast, and all the heaved shoulder shall ye eat in a clean place, you and your sons, and your daughters with you, for they be your due, and your sons' due, which are given out of the sacrifices of peace offerings of the children of Israel. The heaved shoulder and the waved breast shall they bring with the offerings made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And it shall be yours, and your sons with you, by a statute forever, as Yahuwah has commanded. And Moshe diligently sought all the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt. And he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron, which were left alive, saying, Wherefore have ye not eaten all the sin offering in the holy place, seeing it is most holy, and Elohim has given it you to bear all the iniquity of the assembly, to make atonement for them before Yahuwah? Behold, all the blood of it was not brought in within your holy place. Ye should indeed have eaten it in the holy place, as I commanded. And Aaron said unto Moshe, Behold, this day have they offered all their sin offering, and all their burnt offering before Yahuwah, and such things have befallen me. And if I had eaten the sin offering today, should it have been accepted in the sight of Yahuwah? And when Moshe heard that, he was content. Well, until next time, I hope everybody has a great night, and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 11 and 12. Chapter 11, And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parts the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and choose to cut among the beasts that shall ye eat. Nevertheless, all of Tavet shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as all of Tavet the camel, because he chews the cud, but divides not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. And skipping ahead here. And all of Tavet the coney, because he chews the cud, but does not divide the hoof, he is unclean to you. And all of Tavet the hare, because he chews the cud, but divides not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And all of Tavet the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he chews not the cud, he is unclean to you. Or of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. These all of Tavet shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever has fin and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have all of Tavet their carcasses an abomination. Whatsoever has no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these all of Tavet are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. All of Tavet the eagle, and all of Tavet the ostrich, and all of Tavet the osprey, and all of Tavet the vulture, and all of Tavet the kite after his kind, and all of Tavet every raven after his kind, and all of Tavet the owl, and all of Tavet the nighthawk, and all of Tavet the cuckoo, and all of Tavet the hawk after his kind, and all of Tavet the little owl, and all of Tavet the cormorant, and all of Tavet the great owl, and all of Tavet the swan, and all of Tavet the pelican, and the all of Tavet's gear eagle, and the all of Tavet's stork, and the heron after her kind, and all of Tavet the lapwing, and all of Tavet the bat. All fowl that creep, going on all fours, shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these, all of Tavet, may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goes upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. All of Tavet, even these of them ye may eat. All of Tavet the locust after his kind, and all of Tavet the locust after his kind, and all of Tevet the beetle after his kind, and all of Tevet the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever bears aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. The carcass of every beast which divides the hoof and is not cloven-footed, nor chews the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that touches them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goes upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all 4, those are unclean unto you. Whoso touches their carcass shall be unclean until the evening, and he that bears the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever touches them when they be dead shall be unclean until the evening. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, does fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or remaint, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any works is done. It must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the evening. So it shall be cleansed. Every earthen vessel whereinto any of them falls, whatsoever it is then shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water comes shall be unclean. And all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean, and everything whereupon any part of the carcass falls shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots. They shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean to you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit, wherein there is plenty of water, shall be clean. But that which touches the carcass shall be unclean, and if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that touches the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the evening, and he that eats of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. He also that bears all of it, the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. And every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goes upon the belly, and whatsoever goes upon all 4, or whatsoever has more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat. For they are an abomination. Ye shall not make all of Tevet yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creeps, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am Yahuwah Elohim. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy. For I am holy, neither shall ye defile all of it yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am Yahuwah, that brings you out of the land of the Mishraim, to be your Elohim. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the Torah of the beasts, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moves in the waters, and of every creature that creeps upon the earth, to make the difference between between the unclean and the clean, and between the beasts that may be eaten and the beasts that may not be eaten. Chapter 12. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation. For her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. And she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of your purifying be fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for the sin offering, unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly unto the priest, who shall offer it before Yahuwah, and make atonement for her. And she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the Torah for her that has borne a male or female. And if she be not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, the one for the burnt offering and the other for a sin offering. The priest shall make an atonement for her, and she shall be clean. Well, that's it for today's read. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 13 and 14. Chapter 13. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe and Aaron, saying, When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like a plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priests. And the priest shall look on all of the plague, and the skin of the flesh. And when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague and sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him, and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and the sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that has of the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall then look on him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin after that he has been seen by the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreads in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and leprosy cover all of the skin of him that has the plague, from his head even to his foot, whosoever the priest looks, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that has all the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But when raw flesh appears in him, he shall be unclean, and the priest shall see all the raw flesh, and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean, it is a leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again, and be changed unto white, he shall come under the priest, and the priest shall see him. And behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. Excuse me. That has all of the plague, he is clean. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil, and is healed, and in the place of the boil there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be showed to the priest. And if, when the priest sees it, behold, it be in sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil. But if the priest look on and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it spreads much abroad the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. But if the bright spot stay in his place and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning, in the quick flesh that burns have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the priest look on him, behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days, and the priest shall look upon him the 7th day. And if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in his place and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burning. And the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see out of it the plague, and behold, if it be sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scale, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. And if the priest look on all of it the plague of the scale, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that has also at the plague of the scale 7 days. And the 7th day the priest shall look upon all of it the plague, and behold, if the scale spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the scale be not in sight deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but all of it the scale shall he not shaved, and the priest shall shut him up that has all of it the scale 7 more days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on all of it the scale, and behold, if the scale be not spread in the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. He shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scale spread much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the scale be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair. He is unclean. But if the scale be in his sight at his stay, and there is black hair grown up therein, then the scale is healed. He is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. If a man also or a woman have in their skin of their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that grows in the skin, he is clean. And if the man his hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. And he has his hair fallen off from part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald, yet he is clean. And if there be a bald head or bald forehead, a white reddish sore, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald head or his bald forehead. The priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head or his bald forehead, as leprosy appears in the skin of the flesh, he is a leprous man, he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean. This plague is in his head. And the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare. And he shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, Unclean, unclean. All the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled, he is unclean. He shall dwell alone without the camp, shall his habitation be. The garment also that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it be a woolen garment or a linen garment, whether it be in the warp or the woof of linen or of woolen, whether in the skin or in anything made of skin. And if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything of skin, it is a plague of leprosy, and it shall be showed all of it unto the priest. And the priest shall look upon all of it the plague, and shut up it that has all of it the plague 7 days. And he shall look on all of it the plague on the 7th day, and if the plague be spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in the skin, or in any work that is made of skin, the plague is a fretting leprosy, it is unclean. He shall therefore burn all of it, that garment, all of it, whether warp, all of it, or woof, in linen, or, in woolen, or in linen, or all of it, anything of skin, wherein the plague is, for it is a fretting leprosy, it shall be burnt in the fire. And if the priest shall look, and behold, the plague be not spread in the garment, either in the warp, or in the woof, or in anything of skins, the priest shall command that they wash all of it, the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more, and the priest shall look on all of it, the plague. After that it is washed, and behold, if the plague have not changed all of it his color, and the plague be not spread, it is unclean, you shall burn it in the fire. It is fret inward, whether it be bare within or without. And if the priest look, and behold, the plague be somewhat dark after washing of it, then he shall rend it out of the garment, or out of the skin, or out of the warp, or out of the woof. And if it appear still in the garment, either in the warp, or in the woof, or in anything of skin, it is a spreading plague, you shall burn all of it, that wherein the plague is, with fire. And the garments, either warp, or woof, or something of skin it be, which you shall wash. If the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the 2nd time, and shall be clean. This is the Torah of the plague of leprosy in a garment of woolen or linen, either in warp or woof, or anything of skins, to pronounce it clean, or to pronounce it unclean. Chapter 14. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, This shall be the Torah of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest. And the priest shall go forth out of the camp. And the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of all of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. As for all of it, the living bird, he shall take it, and all of it, the cedar wood, and all of it, the scarlet, and all of it, the hyssop, and shall dip them in living, and the olive of it, living bird, in the blood of the bird that was killed over running water, and he shall be sprinkled upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let all of it, the living bird, loose into the open field. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash all of it his clothes, and shave off all of it, all his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. And after that he shall come into the camp, and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. But it shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all of it, all his hair off, all of it his head, and all of it his beard, and all of it his eyebrows, even all of it, all his hair, he shall shave off, and he shall wash all of it his clothes. Also he shall wash all of it his flesh and water, and he shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take 2 he lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3 tenths deals of fine flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. And the priest that makes him clean shall present all of it, the man that is to be made clean in those things, before Yahuwah at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And the priest shall take all of it, 1 he lamb and offer him for a trespass offering, and altovet the log of oil, and wave them for a wave offering before Yahuwah, and he shall slay altovet the lamb in the place where he shall kill altovet the sin offering, and altovet the burnt offering in the holy place, for as the sin offering is the priest, so is the trespass offering. It is most holy. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering. The priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil, and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip altovet his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle altovet the oil with his finger 7 times before Yahuwah. And of the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. And the remnant of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall pour upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahuwah. And the priest shall offer altovet the sin offering, and make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed, for his uncleanness, and afterwards he shall kill altovet the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer altovet the burnt offering, and altovet the meat offering upon the altar, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take 1 lamb for a trespass offering to be waved, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil, and 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to get. And the one shall be a sin offering, and the other a burnt offering, and he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing unto the priests, and unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly before Yahuwah. And the priest shall take altovet the lamb of the trespass offering, and altovet the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before Yahuwah, and the priest shall kill altovet the lamb of the trespass offering. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour all of the oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Yahuwah. And the priest shall put of the oil that is in his hand upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, to make atonement for him before Yahuwah. And he shall offer 1 of the altovet the turtle doves, or of the young pigeons, such as he can get, even altovet such as he is able to get. Altovet the one for a sin offering, and altovet the other for a burnt offering, with the meat offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed before Yahuwah. This is the Torah of him in whom the plague of leprosy, whose hand is not able to get that which pertains to his cleansing. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe and unto Aaron, saying, When ye are come into the land of Canaan, which I give you for possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in the house of the land of your possessions, and he that owns the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, It seems to me that there is, as it were, a plague in the house. Then the priest shall command that they empty altovet the house before the priest goes into it to see altovet the plague, that all this in the house be not made unclean. And afterward the priest shall go in to see altovet the house, and he shall look on altovet the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house, with hollow strakes, greenish or reddish, which in sight are lower than the wall, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house, and shut up altovet the house 7 days. And the priest shall come again the 7th day, and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away altovet the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast him into an unclean place without the city. And all of it he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about. And they shall pour out all of it the dust that they scrape off without the city into an unclean place. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones. And he shall take other mortar and shall place there all of it the house. And if the plague come again and break out in the house, after that he has taken away all of it the stones, and after he has scraped all of it the house, and after it has been plastered, then the priest shall come and look in it, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house. It is unclean, and he shall break down all of it the house, all of it the stones of it, and all of it the timber thereof, and all of it all the mortar of the house, and he shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he that goes into the house all the while that it is shut up shall be unclean until the evening. And he that lies in the house shall wash out of it his clothes, and he that eats in the house shall wash out of it his clothes. And if the priest shall come in and look upon it, and behold, the plague has not spread in the house after all of it the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce all of it the house clean, because plague is healed. And he shall take to cleanse all of it the house 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And he shall kill all of it the one of the birds in an earthen vessel, over running water. And he shall take all of it the cedar wood, and all of it the hyssop, and all of it the scarlet, and all of it the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. He shall cleanse out of it the house with the blood of the bird, and with running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. But he shall let all of it the living bird out of the sea into the open fields, and make an atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is the Torah for all manner of plague of leprosy and scale, for the leprosy of a garment and of a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean and when it is clean. This is the Torah of leprosy. That is it for tonight. Until next time, may you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 15 and 16. Chapter 15. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and unto El Aaron, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man has a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue he is unclean, and this shall be his uncleanness, all that of it in his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue, or his flesh be stopped from his issue. It is his uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lies that has the issue is unclean, and everything whereon he sits shall be unclean. And whosoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And he that sits on anything whereon he sat that has the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And he that touches the flesh of him that has the issue shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And if he that has the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And what saddle soever he rides upon that has the issue shall be unclean. And whosoever touches anything that was under him shall be unclean until the evening. And he that bears any of those things shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. Excuse me. And whomsoever he touches that has the issue, and has not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And the vessels of earth that he touches, which has the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. And when he that has an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and come before Yahuwah unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and give them unto the priest. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahuwah for his issue. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, and be unclean until the evening. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the evening. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the evening. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue and her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever touches her shall be unclean until the evening. And everything that she lies upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sits upon shall be unclean. And whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And whosoever touches anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And if it be on her bed, or on anything whereon she sits, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the evening. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lies shall be unclean. And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation. She shall be unclean. Every bed whereon she lies, all the days of her issue shall be unto her as the bed of her separation. And whatsoever she sits upon shall be unclean, as the uncleanness of her separation. And whosoever touches those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take unto her 2 turtles, or 2 young pigeons, and bring them unto the priest to the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And the priest shall offer Olatevet the one for a sin offering, and Olatevet the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her before Yahuwah for a issue of her uncleanness. Thus shall ye separate Olatevet the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness, when they defile Olatevet my tabernacle that is among them. This is the Torah of him that has an issue, and of him whose seed goes from him, and is defiled therewith, and of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that has Olatevet an issue, of the man and of the woman, and of him that lies with her, that is unclean. Chapter 16. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they offered before Yahuwah and died. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Speak unto Aaron, your brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil before the mercy seat which is upon the ark, that he die not. For I will appear in a cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with the linen girdle, and with the linen turban shall he be attired. These are holy garments. Therefore shall he wash Olatevet his flesh in water, and so put them on. And he shall take of the assembly of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer Olatevet his bullock for a sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take Olatevet the 2 goats, and present them before Yahuwah at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats, 1 lot for Yahuwah, and the other lot for Azazel. And Aaron shall bring Olatevet the goat upon which Yahuwah's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell to be Azazel, shall be presented alive before Yahuwah to make an atonement with him, and to let him go for Azazel into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring Olive Tavet, the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself, and for his house, and shall kill Olive Tavet, the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from the altar before Yahuwah, and his hands full of sweet incense beaten small, and bring it within the veil. And he shall put Olive Tavet the incense upon the fire before Yahuwah, that the cloud of the incense may cover Olive Tavet the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, that he die not. And he shall take of the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward, and before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. Then shall he kill Olive Tavet the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring Olive Tavet his blood within the veil, and do with Olive Tavet that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seats. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions and all their sins. And so shall he do for the tabernacle of the assembly, that remains among them in the midst of their uncleanness. And there shall be no man in the tabernacle of the assembly when he goes in to make atonement in the holy place until he come out, and have made an atonement for himself, and for his household, and for all the assembly of Israel. And he shall go out unto the altar that is before Yahuwah, and make an atonement for it, and shall take of the blood of the bullock, and of the blood of the goat, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about. And he shall sprinkle of the blood upon it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and hallow it from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. And when he has made an end of the reconciling Olive Tavet the holy place, and Olive Tavet the tabernacle of the assembly, and Olive Tavet the altar, he shall bring Olive Tavet the live goat. And Aaron shall Olive Tavet lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him Olive Tavet all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and Olive Tavet all their transgressions and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and shall send him away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon him Olive Tavet all their iniquities, unto a land not inhabited. And he shall let go Olive Tavet the goat in the wilderness. And Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of the assembly, and shall put off Olive Tavet the linen garments which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall wash Olive Tavet his flesh with the water in the holy place, and put on Olive Tavet his garments, and come forth and offer Olive Tavet his burnt offering, and Olive Tavet the burnt offering of the people, to make an atonement for himself and for the people. And Olive Tavet the fat of the sin offering shall he burn upon the altar. And he that let go Olive Tavet the goat for Azazel shall wash his clothes, and bathe Olive Tavet his flesh in water, and afterward come into the camp. And Olive Tavet the bullock for the sin offering, and Olive Tavet the goat for the sin offering, and Olive Tavet whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall one carry forth without the camp. And they shall burn in the fire Olive Tavet their skins, and Olive Tavet their flesh, and Olive Tavet their dung. And he that burns them shall wash his clothes, and bathe Olive Tavet his flesh in water. And afterwards he shall come into the camp. And this shall be a statute forever unto you, that in the 7th month of the 10th day of the month ye shall afflict Olive Tavet your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country, or a stranger that sojourns among you. For on that day shall the priest make an atonement for you, to cleanse you, that ye may be clean from all your sins before Yahuwah. It shall be a Shabbat of rest unto you, and ye shall afflict Olive Tavet your souls by a statute forever. And the priest whom he shall anoint, and whom he shall consecrate Olive Tavet to minister in the priest's office in his father's stead, shall make an atonement, and shall put on Olive Tavet the linen clothes, even the holy garments, and he shall make an atonement for all of Tevet the holy sanctuary, and he shall make an atonement for all of Tevet the tabernacle of the assembly, and for all of Tevet the altar. And he shall make an atonement for the priests and for all the people of the assembly. And this shall be an everlasting statute unto you, to make an atonement for the children of Israel for all their sins once a year. And he did as Yahuwah commanded all of Tevet Moshe. Well, that's it for today's read. Until next time, may you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 17 and 18. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and unto his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, This is the thing which Yahuwah has commanded, saying, What man soever there be of the house of Israel that kills an ox, or lamb, or goat, in a camp, or that kills it out of the camp, and brings it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly to offer an offering unto Yahuwah before the tabernacle of Yahuwah, blood shall be imputed unto that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people, to the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices which they offer all of Tevet in the open field, even that they may bring them unto Yahuwah. Unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly unto the priests, and offer them for a peace offering unto Yahuwah. And the priest shall sprinkle all of Tevet, the blood, upon the altar of Yahuwah, at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and burn the fat for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. And they shall no more offer all of Tevet their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a-whoring. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. And you shall say unto them, Whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers which sojourn among you, that offer a burnt offering or sacrifice, and brings it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, to offer it unto Yahuwah, even that man shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eats any manner of blood, I will set my face against that soul that eats all Tevet the blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes an atonement for the soul. Therefore I say unto the children of Israel, No soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any of the stranger that sojourns among you eat blood. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunts and catches any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out all Tevet the blood thereof, and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eats it shall be cut off. And every soul that eats that which died of itself, or that which was torn by beasts, whether it be one of your own country or stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. Then shall he be clean. But if he wash them not, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. Chapter 18. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am Yahuwah Elohim. After the doings of the land of Mishraim, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye do all of Tevet my judgments, and guard all of Tevet my ordinances, to walk therein. I am Yahuwah Elohim. Ye shall therefore guard all of Tevet my statutes, and all of Tevet my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am Yahuwah. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, to uncover their nakedness. I am Yahuwah. The nakedness of your father, or the nakedness of your mother, shall you not uncover. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's woman shall you not uncover. It is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or daughter of your mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness, you shall not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter, even their nakedness you shall not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. The nakedness of your father's woman's daughter, begotten of your father, she is your sister. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister. She is your father's near kinswoman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, for she is your mother's near kinswoman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. You shall not approach to his woman. She is your aunt. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is your son's woman. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's woman. It is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover all the nakedness of a woman, and all her daughter. Neither shall you take her son's daughter, or her daughter's daughter, to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness. Neither shall you take a woman to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her lifetime. Also you shall not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is apart for her uncleanness. Moreover, you shall not lie carnally with your neighbor's woman, to defile yourself with her, and you shall not let any of your seed pass through the fire to Moloch. Neither shall you profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yahuwah. You shall not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is an abomination. Neither shall you lie with any beast, to defile yourself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast, to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you, and the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity there upon it, and the land itself vomits out all of Tevet her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore guard all of Tevet my statutes, and all of Tevet my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourns among you. For all of Tevet, all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled, and the land spew not you out also, when ye defile it, as it spewed out all the nations that were before you. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall ye guard all my ordinance, that ye not commit any one of these abominable customs which were committed before you, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am Yahuwah Elohim. Well, that is today's read. Until next time, I hope you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 19 and 20. Chapter 19, And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto all the assembly of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, Yahuwah Elohim, am holy. Ye shall fear every man his mother, and his father, and guard all of Tavat my Shabbat. I am Yahuwah Elohim. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten Elohim. I am Yahuwah Elohim. And if ye offer a sacrifice of peace offering unto Yahuwah, ye shall offer it at your own will. It shall be eaten the same day ye offer it, and on the morrow. And if aught remain until the third day, it shall be burnt in the fire. And if it be eaten at all on the third day, it is abomination. It shall not be accepted. Therefore every one that eats it shall bear his iniquity, because he has profaned all of Tevet, the hallowed thing of Yahuwah, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people. And when ye reap all of Tevet, the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field, neither shall you gather the gleanings of your harvest, and you shall not glean your vineyard, neither shall you gather every grape of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and stranger. I am Yahuwah. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall you profane Aleph Tavet, the name of your Elohim. I am Yahuwah. You shall not defraud Aleph Tavet, your neighbor, neither rob him the wages of him that is hired, shall not abide with you all night until the morning. You shall not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear your Elohim. I am Yahuwah. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. You shall not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shall you judge your neighbor. You shall not go up and down as a tall-bearer among your people, neither shall you stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yahuwah. You shall not hate Aleph Tavet, your brother, in your hearts. You shall in any wise rebuke Aleph Tavet, your neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. You shall not avenge nor bear any grudge against Aleph Tavet, the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahuwah. Ye shall guard Aleph Tavet, my statutes. You shall not let your cattle gender with a diverse kind. You shall not sow your field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon you. And whosoever lies carnally with Aleph Tavet, a woman that is bonded, betrothed to a man, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not put her to death, because she was not free. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Yahuwah, under the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before Yahuwah for his sin which he has done. And the sin which he has done shall be forgiven him. And when ye come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then ye shall count Aleph Tavet, the fruit thereof, as uncircumcised. 3 years it shall be as uncircumcised to you. It shall not be eaten of. But in the 4th year of all the fruit thereof shall be holy, to praise Yahuwah withal. And in the 5th year shall ye eat of Aleph Tavet, the fruit thereof, that it may yield unto you the increase thereof. I am Yahuwah. You shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall you use enchantment nor practice sorcery. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall you mar Aleph Tavet, the corners of your beard. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahuwah. Do not prostitute Aleph Tavet, your daughter, to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. Ye shall guard Aleph Tavet, my Shabbat, in reverence my sanctuary. I am Yahuwah. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards, to be defiled by them. I am Yahuwah. You shall rise up before the gray head, and honor the face of the old man, and fear your Elohim. I am Yahuwah. And if a stranger sojourn with you in your land, ye shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwells with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For ye were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. I am Yahuwah. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in metiard, in weight, or in measured. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah and a just hin shall ye have. I am Yahuwah, which brought you out of the land of the Mitzrayim. Therefore shall ye guard Aleph Tavet all my statutes, and Aleph Tavet all my judgments, and do them. I am Yahuwah. Chapter 20. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying again, You shall say to the children of Israel, Whoever he be of the children of Israel, or of strangers that sojourn in Israel, that give any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones, and I will set Aleph Tavet my face against that man, and I will cut him off from among his people, because he has given of his seed unto Moloch to defile Aleph Tevet, my sanctuary, and to profane Aleph Tevet, my holy name. And if the people of the land do any way hide Aleph Tevet their eyes from the man when he gives of his seed unto Moloch, and kill him not, then I'll set Aleph Tevet my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off, and Aleph Tevet all that go a whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Moloch, from among his people. And that soul that turns after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards, to go a whoring after them, I will set Aleph Tevet my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am Yahuwah Elohim, and ye shall guard Aleph Tevet my statutes, and do them. I am Yahuwah Mekadishkim. For everyone that curses Aleph Tevet his father, or Aleph Tevet his mother, shall be surely put to death. If he has cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him. And the man that breaks wedlock with Aleph Tevet another man's woman, even he that breaks wedlock with Aleph Tevet his neighbor's woman, the man and the woman that breaks wedlock shall surely be put to death. And the woman that lies with Aleph Tevet his father's woman has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them, and if a man lie with Aleph Tevet his neighbor's daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. If a man also lie Aleph Tevet with mankind as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man take Aleph Tevet a woman, and Aleph Tevet her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and Aleph Tevet ye shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast, and lie down thereto, you shall kill Aleph Tevet the woman, and Aleph Tevet the beast. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. And if a man shall take Aleph Tevet his sister, his father's daughter or his mother's daughter, and see Aleph Tevet their nakedness, and she see Aleph Tevet his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of the people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. And if a man lie Aleph Tevet with a woman, having her sickness, and shall uncover Aleph Tevet her nakedness, he has discovered her fountain, and Aleph Tevet, and she has uncovered Aleph Tevet the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people, and you shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, nor of your father's sister, for he uncovers Aleph Tevet his near kin. They shall bear their iniquity. And if a man lie with his uncle's woman, he has uncovered Aleph Tevet his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin, they shall die childless. And if a man shall take Aleph Tevet his brother's woman, it is an unclean thing. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Ye shall therefore guard Aleph Tevet all my statutes, and Aleph Tevet all my judgments, and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nations which I cast out before you, for they committed Aleph Tevet all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit Aleph Tevet their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that flows with milk and honey. I am Yahuwah Elohim, which have separated you from other people. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean, and ye shall not make Aleph Tevet your souls abominable by beast, or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creeps on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahuwah, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. A man also and a woman that has a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones. Their blood shall be upon them. Well, that is it for today's Cepher portion. Until next time, may you all Have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, or Leviticus 21 and 22, chapter 21. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, Speak unto the priests of the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, There shall none be defiled for the dead among his people, but for his kin. That is near unto him. That is for his mother, and for his father, and for his son, and for his daughter, and for his brother, and for his sister a virgin. That is nigh unto him, which has had no man. For her may he be defiled, but he shall not defile himself, being a chief man among his people, to profane himself. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. They shall be holy unto their Elohim. And not profane the name of their Elohim. For Aleph Tavet, the offerings of Yahuwah, made by fire, and the bread of their Elohim, they do offer. Therefore they shall be holy. And they shall not take a woman that is a whore, or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her man, for he is holy unto his Elohim. You shall sanctify him therefore, for he offers Aleph Tavet, the bread of your Elohim. He shall be holy unto you, for I, Yahuwah, which sanctify you, am holy. And a daughter of the priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profanes Aleph Tavet her father. She shall be burnt with the fire. And he that is the high priest among his brethren, upon whose head the anointing oil was poured, and that is consecrated to Aleph Tavet, put on Aleph Tavet the garments, shall not uncover Aleph Tavet his head, nor rent his clothes, neither shall he go in to any dead body, nor defile himself for his father or for his mother. Neither shall he go out of the sanctuary, nor profane Aleph Tavet, the sanctuary of his Elohim, for the crown of the anointing oil of his Elohim is upon him. I am Yahuwah. And he shall take a woman in her virginity, a widow, or a divorced woman, or profane, or a harlot. These shall he not take, but he shall take Aleph Tavet, a virgin of his own people, to be his woman. Neither shall he profane his seed among his people, for I, Yahuwah, do sanctify him. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron, saying, Whosoever he be of your seed, in their generations that has any blemish, let him not approach to offer the bread of his Elohim. For whatsoever man he be that has a blemish, he shall not approach. A blind man, or a lame man, or he that has a flat nose, or anything superfluous, or a man that is broken-footed, or broken-handed, or crooked-backed, or a dwarf, or that has a blemish in his eye, or be scurvy, or scab, or has his excuse me, or has the stones broken. No man that has a blemish of the seed of Aaron the priest shall come nigh to offer the offerings of Yahuwah made Aleph Tavet by fire. He has a blemish, he shall not come up nigh to offer Aleph Tavet, the blood of his Elohim. He shall eat the bread of his Elohim, both of the most holy and of the holy. Only he shall not go in unto the veil, nor come nigh unto the altar, because he has a blemish, that he profane not Aleph Tavet my sanctuaries, for I, Yahuwah, do sanctify them. And Moshe told it to Aaron, and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel. Chapter 22. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, that they separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, and that they profane not Aleph Tavet my holy name in those things which they hallow unto me. I am Yahuwah. Say unto them, Whosoever be of all your seed among you, generations, among your generations, that goes unto the holy things which the children of Israel hallow unto Yahuwah, having his uncleanness upon him, that soul shall be cut off from my presence. I am Yahuwah. What man soever of the seed of Aaron is a leper, or has a running issue, he shall not eat of the holy things until he is clean. And whosoever touches anything that is unclean by the dead, or a man whose seed goes from him, or whosoever touches any creeping thing, whereby he may be made unclean, or a man of whom he may take uncleanness, whatsoever uncleanness he has, a soul which has touched any such shall be unclean until evening, and shall not eat of the holy things, unless he wash his flesh with water. And when the sun goes down, he shall be clean, and shall afterward eat of the holy things, because it is his foot, that which dies of itself, or is torn with beasts. He shall not eat to defile himself therewith. I am Yahuwah. They shall therefore guard all my ordinances, lest they bear sin for it, and die therefore. If they profane it, I, Yahuwah, do sanctify them. There shall no stranger eat of the holy things. A sojourner of the priest, or a hired servant, shall not eat of the holy thing. But if a priest buy any soul with his money, he shall eat of it, and he that is born in his house, they shall eat of his meat. If the priest's daughter also be married unto a stranger, she may not eat of an offering of the holy things. But if the priest's daughter be a widow, or divorced, and have no child, and is returned unto her father's house, as in her youth, she shall eat of her father's meat. But there shall no stranger eat thereof. And if a man eat of the holy thing unwittingly, then he shall put the fifth part thereof unto it, and shall give it to the priests all the tevet with the holy thing. And they shall not profane all the tevet, the holy things of the children of Israel, all the tevet which they offer unto Yahuwah, or suffer them to bear the iniquity of transgression, when they eat all the tevet, their holy things. For I, Yahuwah, do sanctify them. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, Whatsoever he be of the house of Israel, or the strangers of Israel, that will offer his oblation for all his vows, and for all his free will offerings, which they will offer unto Yahuwah for a burnt offering, ye shall offer at your own will a male without blemish of the cattle, of the sheep, or of the goats. But whatsoever has a blemish, that shall ye not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you. And whosoever offers a sacrifice of peace offerings unto Yahuwah to accomplish his vow, or a free will offering in cattle or sheep, it shall be perfect to be accepted. There shall be no blemish therein, blind, or broken, or maimed, or having a running sore, or scurvy, or scab. Ye shall not offer these unto Yahuwah, nor make an offering by fire unto them upon the altar unto Yahuwah, either a bullock or a lamb that has anything superfluous, or lacking in his parts. That may you offer for a free will offering, but for a vow it shall not be acceptable. Ye shall not offer unto Yahuwah that which is bruised, crushed, or broken, or cut. Neither shall ye make any offering thereof in your land. Neither from a stranger's hand shall ye offer all the bread of your Elohim of any of these, because their corruption is in them, and blemishes be in them. They shall not be accepted for you. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, saying, When a bullock, or a sheep, or a goat is brought forth, then it shall be 7 days under the dam. And from the 8th day and thenceforth it shall be accepted for an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And whether it be a cow or ewe, ye shall not kill it, and all the tevet, her young, both in 1 day. And when ye will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto Yahuwah, offer it at your own will. On the same day it shall be eaten up. Ye shall leave none of it until the morrow. I am Yahuwah. Therefore shall ye guard my commandments and do them. I am Yahuwah. Neither shall ye profane all the tevet, my holy name, but I will be hallowed among the children of Israel. I am Yahuwah, which hallow you, that brought you out of the land of the Mishraim, to be your Elohim. I am Yahuwah. Well, that is it for today's read. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello everybody and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading VAYIQRA, Leviticus 23 and 24. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of Yahuwah, which ye shall proclaim to be holy assemblies. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done. But on the 7th day is a Shabbat of rest, a holy assembly. Ye shall do no work therein. It is a Shabbat of Yahuwah in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of Yahuwah, even holy assemblies which ye shall proclaim in their appointed times. And the 14th day of the first month at the evening is Yahuwah's Pekah. And on the 15th day of the same month is feast of Mastasa. Unto Yahuwah 7 days, 7 days ye must eat Mastasa. And in the first day ye shall have a holy assembly. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah 7 days. And the 7th day is a holy assembly. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye are come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap all the tevet, or all the harvest thereof, and ye shall bring all the tevet, a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest, unto the priest, and he shall wave all of tevet, the sheaf, before Yahuwah, to be accepted for you. Tomorrow of the Shabbat, the priest shall wave it, and ye shall offer that day when ye wave all of tevet, the sheaf, and the lamb without blemish on the first day of the burnt offering unto Yahuwah. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2 tenth deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, for a sweet savor. And a drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the 4th part of a hin. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched grain, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought all of tevet in offering unto your Elohim. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Shabbat, from the day that ye brought all of tevet, the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Shabbat, 7 Shabbatha shall be complete. Even until the morrow after the 7th Shabbat shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahuwah. Ye shall bring it out of your habitations, 2 wave loaves, and 2 tenth deals. They shall be of fine flour, they shall be bacon with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Yahuwah, and ye shall offer them with the bread, 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto Yahuwah, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto Yahuwah. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before Yahuwah. With the 2 lambs they shall be holy to Yahuwah for the priest. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be holy, that it may be a holy assembly unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings, throughout your generations. And when ye reap all of tevet, the harvest of your land, you shall not make clean riddance of the corners of your field when you reap, neither shall you gather any gleanings of your harvest. You shall leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am Yahuwah Elohim. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Shabbat, a memorial of blowing of shofars, a holy assembly. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Also on the 10th day of this 7th month is Yom Kippurim. It shall be a holy assembly unto you, and ye shall afflict shall afflict all of Tevet your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is Yom Kippurim, to make an atonement for you before Yahuwah Elohim. For whosoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in the same day, he shall cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that does any work in that same day, the Tevet's same soul will I destroy from among his people. Ye shall do no manner of work, it shall be a statute forever throughout your generations. And all your dwellings it shall be unto you a Shabbat of rest. And ye shall afflict all of Tevet your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening. From evening unto evening ye shall celebrate your Shabbat. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of the 7th month shall be the feast of Sukkot. For 7 days unto Yahuwah on the first day shall be a holy assembly. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. On the 8th day shall be a holy assembly unto you. And you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. It is a solemn assembly. And ye shall do no servile work therein. These are the feasts of Yahuwah, which ye shall proclaim to be holy assemblies, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, and drink offerings, everything upon his day, beside the Shabbatot of Yahuwah, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your freewill offerings which ye give unto Yahuwah. Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye gather in all of Tevet, the fruit of the land, ye shall keep all of Tevet a feast unto Yahuwah 7 days. On the first day shall be a Shabbat, and on the 8th day shall be a Shabbat. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before Yahuwah Elohim 7 days, and ye shall keep it a feast unto Yahuwah 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Ye shall dwell in the Sukkot 7 days. All that are in Yisrael born shall dwell in Sukkot. That your generations may know that I made all of Tevet, the children of Israel, to dwell in Sukkot, when I brought them out to the land of the Mishraim. I am Yahuwah Elohim. And Moshe declared all of Tevet unto the children of Israel the feast of Yahuwah. Chapter 24. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Command all of Tevet, the children of Israel, that they bring unto you pure oil, olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually without the veil of the testimony. In the tabernacle of the assembly shall Aaron order it from the evening unto morning before Yahuwah continually. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. He shall order all of the lamps upon the pure menorah before Yahuwah continually. And you shall take fine flour and bake 12 cakes thereof. 2 tenths deal shall be in 1 cake, and you shall set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row upon the pure table before Yahuwah, and you shall put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. Every Shabbat he shall set it in order before Yahuwah continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons, and they shall eat it in the holy place, for it is most holy unto him of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire, by a perpetual state. And the son of Yisraelite woman, whose father was a mystery, went out amongst the children of Israel, and this son of the Israelite woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp, and the Israelite woman's son blasphemed all of them at the name of Yahuwah and cursed, and they brought him unto Moshe, and his mother's name was Shelomith, and the daughter Devrai, of the tribe of Dan, and they put him inward that the mind of Yahuwah might be showed them. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Bring forth him all of it that is cursed without the camp. And let all that hear him lay all of it their hands upon his head, and let all the assembly stone him. And you shall speak unto the children of Israel, saying, Whosoever curses his Elohim shall bear his sin, and he that blasphemes the name of Yahuwah, he shall surely be put to death, and all the assembly shall certainly stone him, as well as the stranger. As he that is born in the land, when he blasphemes the name of Yahuwah, shall be put to death. And he that kills any man shall surely be put to death. And he that kills a beast shall make it good, beast for beast. And if a man cause a blemish in his neighbor, as he has done, so shall it be done to him, breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. As he has caused a blemish in a man, so shall it be done to him again. And he that kills the beast, he shall restore it. And he that kills a man, he shall be put to death. Ye shall have one manner of laws, as well for the stranger, as for one of your own country. For I am Yahuwah Elohim. And Moshe spoke to the children of Israel, that they would bring forth him all of it that had cursed out of the camp, and stone him with stones. And the children of Israel did as Yahuwah had commanded Aleph Tavet Moshe. Well, that is today's read. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great day, and a fantastic tomorrow. Hello all, and welcome to today's Cepher portion. Today we're going to be reading the last of VAYIQRA, Leviticus 25, 26, and 27. Chapter 25. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Shabbat unto Yahuwah. 6 years you shall sow your field. In 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather in olive tavet the fruit thereof. But the 7th year shall be a Shabbat of rest unto the land, a Shabbat for Yahuwah. You shall neither sow your field, nor prune your vineyard. Olive tavet, that which grows of its own accord of your harvest, you shall not reap, neither shall you gather olive tavet, the grapes of your vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land. And the Shabbat of the land shall be meat for you, and for your servant, and for your maid, and for your hired servant, and for your stranger that sojourns with you, and for your cattle, and for your beasts, and for the beasts that are in your land, shall all the increase thereof buy meat. And you shall And you shall number 7 Shabbaths of years unto you, 7 times 7 years. And the space of the 7 Shabbaths of years shall be unto you 49 years. Then shall you cause the shofar of the Jubilees to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month in Yom Kippur. Shall you make the shofar sound throughout all your land, and ye shall hallow Olive Tavet the 15th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession. And ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that Olive Tavet, which grows of itself in it, neither gather the grapes in it of Olive Tavet, your vine undressed, for it is the Jubilee. It shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat Olive Tavet, the increase thereof, out of the fields. In the year of the Jubilee ye shall return every man unto his possession. And if you sell aught unto your neighbor, or buy aught of your neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress Olive Tavet one another. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, you shall buy of your neighbor. And according unto the number of years of the fruits he shall sell unto you, according to the multitude of years you shall increase the price thereof. And according to the fewness of years you shall diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits he sells unto you, ye shall not therefore oppress all of it one another, but you shall fear your Elohim, for I am Yahuwah Elohim. Wherefore ye shall do all of it my statutes, and guard all of it my judgments, and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your fill, and dwell therein in safety. And if ye shall say, What shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow nor gather in all of it one increase. Then I will command all of it my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth all of it fruit for 3 years. And ye shall sow all of it the 8th year, in each yet of old fruit until the 9th year, until the fruits have come in, shall ye eat of the old store. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me, and in all the land of your possession ye shall grant a redemption for the land. If your brother be waxen poor, and he has sold away some of his possessions, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem all of it that which his brother sold. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count all of it the years of the sale thereof, and restore all of it the surplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that has bought it unto the year of Jubilee, and in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generations. It shall not go out in the Jubilee. But the houses of the villages which have no walls round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. Notwithstanding, the cities of the Leviim, and the houses and the cities of their possession, may the Leviim redeem at any time. And if a man purchase of the Leviim, then the house that was sold in the city of his possession shall go out in the year of the Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Leviim are their possession among the children of Israel, but the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. And if your brother be waxen poor, and fallen in decay with you, then you shall relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger, or a sojourner, that he may live with you. Take no usury of him, or increase, but fear your Elohim, that your brother may live with you. And you shall not give him all of it your money upon usury, nor lend him your victuals for increase. I am Yahuwah Elohim, which brought you forth out of the land of the Mishraim, to give you all of it the land of Canaan, and to be your Elohim. And if your brother that dwells by you be waxen, and be sold unto you, you shall not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as a hired servant, and as a sojourner. He shall be with you, and shall serve you unto the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from you, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall be returned. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of the Mishraim. They shall not be sold as bondmen. You shall not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear your Elohim. Both your bondmen and bondmaids, which you shall have, shall be of the heathen. that are round about you. Of them ye shall ye shall buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But of your brethren the children of Israel ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by you, and your brother that dwells by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or the sojourner by you, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him. Or if he be able, he may redeem himself. And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold unto him unto the year of the Jubilee, and the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of the hired servant shall it be with him. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them, he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. And if there remain but a few years unto the Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of Aleph Tavet his redemption. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in your sights. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of the Jubilee, both he and his children with him. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of the Mishraim. I am Yahuwah Elohim. Chapter 26. Ye shall make no idols, nor graven image, neither rear up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it, for I am Yahuwah Elohim. Ye shall guard Aleph Tavet my Shabbatah, and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yahuwah. If ye walk in my statutes, and guard Aleph Tavet my commandments, and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and your threshing shall reach Aleph Tavet unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach Aleph Tavet unto the sowing time. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. And ye shall chase Aleph Tavet your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. For I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and establish Aleph Tavet my covenant with you. And ye shall eat old store, and bring forth the old because of the new. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. Abhor you. And I will walk among you, and will be your Elohim, and ye shall be my people. I am Yahuwah Elohim, which brought you forth out of the land of the Mishraim, that ye should not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke, and made you go upright. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and I will not do Aleph Tavet all these commandments, and will not do Aleph Tavet all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor Aleph Tavet my judgments, so that ye will not do Aleph Tavet all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, Aleph Tavet consumption, and Aleph Tavet the burning ague, that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of the heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies, that they that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursues you. And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins, and I will break all of Tevet the pride of your power, and I will make all of Tevet your heaven as iron, and all of Tevet your earth as brass, and your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield all of Tevet her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits. And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. I will also send all of Tevet wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy all of Tevet your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. And if ye will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me, then I will also walk contrary unto you, and I will punish you yet 7 times for your sin. And I will bring a sword upon you, that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat, and not be satisfied. And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury. And I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins, and ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. And I will destroy all of Tevet your high places, and cut down all of Tevet your images, and cast all of Tevet your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols. And my soul shall abhor you. And I will make all of Tevet your cities waste, and bring all of Tevet your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring all of Tevet the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it, and I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Then shall the land enjoy all of Tevet or Shabbath, as long as it lies desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest, and enjoy all of Tevet her Shabbath. As long as it lies desolate, it shall rest. All of Tevet, because it did not rest in your Shabbath when ye dwell upon it. And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts, and the lands of their enemies, and the sound of the shaken leaf shall chase them. And they shall flee as fleeing from the sword, and they shall fall when none pursues, and they shall fall upon one another as it were before a sword, when no one pursues. And ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies, and ye shall perish among the heathen. And the land of your enemies shall eat you up, and they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands, and also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. If they shall confess all of Tevet their iniquity, and all of Tevet the iniquity of their fathers with their transgressions which they transgressed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept the punishment of all of Tevet their iniquity, then I will remember all of Tevet my covenant with Yaakov, and also all of Tevet my covenant with Yitzchak, and also all of Tevet my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land, and the land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy all of Tevet or Shabbath, while she lies desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of all of Tevet their iniquity, because they despised my judgments, and because their soul abhorred all of my statutes, and yet for all that when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am Yahuwah Elohim. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth at the land of the Mitzrayim, and the sight of the heathen, that I might be their Elohim. I am Yahuwah. These are the commandments and judgments and Torah which Yahuwah made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moshe. Chapter 27. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When a man shall make a singular vow, the person shall be for Yahuwah by your estimation, and your estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old even unto 60 years old. And even your estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And if it be a female, then your estimation shall be 30 shekels. And if it be from 5 years old even unto 20 years old, then your estimation shall be of the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if it be from a month old even unto 5 years, then your estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of silver, and for the female your estimation shall be 3 shekels of silver. And if it be from 60 years old and above, if it be a male, then your estimation shall be 15 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. But if he be poorer than your estimation, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to his ability that vowed shall the priest value him. And if it be a beast whereof men bring an offering unto Yahuwah, all that any man gives of such unto Yahuwah shall be holy. He shall not alter it, nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then it and the exchange thereof shall be holy. And if it be any unclean beast of which they do not offer a sacrifice unto Yahuwah, then he shall present all it of it the beast before the priest, and the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as you value it, who are the priests, so shall it be. But if he will at all redeem it, then he shall add a 5th part thereof unto your estimation. And when a man shall sanctify out of it his house to be holy unto Yahuwah, then the priest shall estimate it, whether it be good or bad, as the priest shall estimate it, so shall it stand. And if he that sanctified it will redeem all of it his house, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of your estimation unto it, and it shall be his. And if a man shall sanctify unto Yahuwah some part of a field of his possession, then your estimation shall be according to the seed thereof. A homer of barley seed shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. And if he sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee according to your estimation, it shall stand. But if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him all of it the money according to the years that remain, even unto the year of Jubilee, and it shall be abated from your estimates. And if he that sanctify all of it the field will in any wise redeem it, then he shall add a 5th part of the money of your estimation unto it, and it shall be assured to him. And if he will not redeem it, and if he will not redeem all of it the field, or if he have sold all of it the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more, but the field when it goes out, and the Jubilee shall be holy unto Yahuwah. As a field devoted, the possession thereof shall be the priest's. And if a man sanctify unto Yahuwah all of it a field which he has bought, which is not of the fields of his possession, then the priest shall reckon unto him all of it the word of your estimation, even unto the year of the Jubilee. And yet he shall give all of it your estimation in that day, as a holy thing unto Yahuwah. And the year of the Jubilee the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land did belong. And all your estimation shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. Only the firstlings of the beast which should be Yahuwah's firstling, no man shall sanctify it. Whether it be ox or sheep, it is Yahuwah's. And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to your estimation, and shall add a 5th part of it thereto. And if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to your estimation, notwithstanding no devoted thing that a man shall devote unto Yahuwah of all that he has, both of man and beast, and of the field of his possession, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto Yahuwah. None devoted which shall be devoted of man shall be redeemed, but shall surely he put to death. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is Yahuwah's. It is holy unto Yahuwah. And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithes, he shall add thereto a fifth part thereof. And concerning the tithe of the herd or of the flock, even of whatsoever passes under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto Yahuwah. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commandments which Yahuwah commanded all of Tevet Moshe for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. Well, that is tonight's read. Until next time, I hope everybody has a great night and a fantastic tomorrow.